Okay, so we're going to go for video number 2 of Stories of a Dumbass Life. Somebody who's been a veteran living as an expat for a while, right? I fucking named the channel. But doesn't matter. So, episode 1 was first day of kindergarten. My mother telling me I got to punch the bully in the face. So I figure, let's start this series of stories with fucking fights of being a child. Not all of them were physical. Second fight was with an ideological argument with the teacher and the principal in the second grade. And I failed the second grade. I did it twice. So this was the first time of the second grade. So every morning we had to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Sorry, my head keeps going to the fucking side. I didn't know I'd do that. This was in Oklahoma. And the story before kindergarten was in Texas. So Oklahoma in the second grade. Again, my mother and my father were soldiers, and I moved. Texas, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Texas, Oklahoma, North Carolina, a few times. Anyway, we had to say the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning, right? A normal thing. And this is something that's really a predicament because it's like these woke motherfuckers are against nationalism. So please, I hope to God that I'm not like the tip of the spear for these pieces of shits. But so anyway, we had to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and one day in the second grade, I thought about this really deeply. My mother and father were soldiers. I knew that, fighting for America was something important. But I questioned, and I argued with teachers, right? I refused to say the Pledge of Allegiance one day because I was having maybe the first moral dilemma of my life that I can remember. And I felt like I didn't have enough experience to know what I was pledging my allegiance to. In hindsight, shit, fuck it, it's the right fucking country to pledge allegiance to. But at that time, I don't know how I was so fucking smart as a little kid. I felt like I was being manipulated to swear an oath that I didn't understand the repercussions of. Is this even real? If nobody believes me, that makes sense. But, so, I told the teacher I couldn't do it. I needed to get more understanding first of what I was pledging allegiance to. So she sent me to the principal. Principal's upset, called my parents. It's the first time I was ever suspended from school. It was only a day. But how many of us are badass enough to get suspended from the second fucking grade? Shit. I expected my parents were going to be very angry with me. But the reality was my parents took oaths of loyalty very seriously. They had both, I do solemnly swear to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and obey the orders of the officers appointed above me. It was the enlisted oath that they took. It was the first military oath that I took also. When I became an officer, I got to drop the part of following orders. Appropriate for a fucking kid who questions being forced to say the Pledge of Allegiance. And really has affected my officer career. And for the sake of this video, I am not currently serving. I'm a veteran. I'm basically living off of disability. I got some of the money right. partner in a couple companies, but my disability doesn't prevent me from fighting World War III, so here I am. Fuck it. So my parents were actually proud of me and didn't punish me at all. My first suspension from school had no real negative repercussions of any lasting tenure. And I have to say, it's one of the things that makes me proud of my parents. You know, my parents were not educated. Um, they were people that signed the dotted line at 18. I mean, I finished college first. I waited 10 years. I enlisted when I was 30. But as much as my childhood sucked, I am karmically lucky to have parents with such fortitude.